Riro Ron! I'm dead. How you doing? Hello? Oh my god, for some reason I hear myself so loud. Oh, let me see, let me check. Okay. Fixed. How you doing? Store those storage yards! Hiya, that's kind of why. What did I do? Hello! I just had yes, I had a burger! So what? It was a homemade burger, the same I made for me and for Fuyo yesterday. Yes, and I brought some chocolate. Specifically, it's one Ferrero Rocher. it's attorney Thursday. Also, I'll turn on the volume for the alerts and the game. Okay, where's Fuya? Fuya not here. I won't be seeing Fuya today, but tomorrow. Tomorrow we will stream together. Yeah. Oh. Today I wanted to work on stuff, but I was just so tired. My body was very tired. I wonder if Fuya slept a lot today as well. I was very tired. I slept like in the morning. I slept during the day and I slept till now. So yeah, I woke up very recently. I think you can even hear it in my voice. Karaoke spends all your battery? Yeah, I mean, and karaoke is not the only thing we'll be doing, you know? Like, since Fuyo's visiting right now, we've been touching grass a lot, you know? And after the karaoke, we went to a restaurant and stuff. Ooh. So yeah, I did sleep a lot. I did need to sleep. I did need to recharge my energies. But yeah. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm still a little bit... Oh yeah. Not sleepy, but like, just woke up, you know? I still have to wake up fully. Hi, Riro! Hello! By the way, the kanji I have right here are kanji Fuya brought for me. They're pretty nice. I thought you had gone on the aquarium day today. We're going to the aquarium tomorrow. We're gonna go to the aquarium tomorrow before the stream. So yeah. Is Fuya there? No. She isn't staying at my house. No. Fuya's not here today. We'll be seeing Fuya tomorrow. Today is Ace Attorney Thursday, not Monday. Ace Attorney Thursday. Oh, I really wanted to continue it. And I'm sorry for... I'm sorry for starting late. Like... I really... like, I had an alarm set, you know? Like, so I have time to prepare and everything. But... I just... wanted to sleep a little bit more and I kept postponing the alarm. Like, 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes until it was already 6 p.m. and I was like, oh, heck. I'm hungry, I have to eat something. Oh yeah, you forgive me, right? You forgive me, right? You're used to me. You're used to me already. I was hungry. It is important. Recharging energy is important, isn't it? That's just the little way. To your information, these days with Fuya that we started so late, it wasn't my fault. It was both Fuyo's and my fault, but not just my fault. Just, I have to say it. It's not only my fault. Why are we always late? We came to the conclusion that we have to start preparing stuff like 1 hour before we think we should start preparing. Like, when we think we have enough time, that means we need 1 extra hour. It's all Fuya's fault. No, it's not all Fuya's fault. But it's not all my fault either. We are both guilty. I declare both of us guilty. By the way, you hear the BGM, right? Yeah, you just hear the BGM. Okay. I'm ready for Ace Attorney. Continue. Ace Attorney. Loud and clear. Nice. You ready? I am very ready. Nina, are you happy today? I still didn't figure it out. I just woke up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy, of course. Of course I am happy. I woke up and first thing I did is talking to you. Of course I'm happy. Okay, so let's start. Shall we start? Okay. That is good. Now the game. Let's go. Let me make it smaller. Resize it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We can start. Let me just it's one candy. Morning, good morning. It's 7 p.m. for me. It's not really morning, but I just woke up, so yeah, kinda technically morning. Continue. Final day. It's this one, right? Yeah, I think so. Final trial later. Is this the last trial? I wonder. Are we finishing the DLC already? I wonder. Okay, directly to court. Directly to the interesting part. Let me a second. Okay. Ready for the court? Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Isn't the BGM too loud? I will just make it a little bit quieter, like this. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. What? The bow. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Okay, he doesn't seem affected. Yes, well... Normally, this is where the prosecution calls for a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, might have, struck a bargain. You think I might have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that! Judge, I'm pretty sure you are implying that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Come on, Judge! Don't do that, too edgy, boy! Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. But what if you struck a deal with the attorney? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call for the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness... Oh God, okay, I will save, Edgeworth. I got you, I will save. This trial is as good as over. The defense calls. The time has finally come to bring out the real murderer. Murderer? Demon Gant? I mean... Just carefully... No, this is so much pressure! Gumshoe! No! Gumshoe can't be the killer! No, he's not the culprit. Culprit's good, man! What the heck? Can I actually do that? I wonder.
Take that! Objection!
What? It appears I overestimated you, Mr. Wright. For a moment, I actually thought you knew what you were doing. Don't hit me. I'm still any concrete evidence. But judging by the direction everything seems to be pointing... Why was it even an option? There's another, even more suspicious person! More suspicious than Goodman, I wonder who it is. Okay, can I call Gant?
Take that!
Slam! Demon Gant. The defense calls Demon Gant to the stand. Demon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. I'm more suspicious than the victim. Unbelievable. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? Oh, just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Slam! Your name and occupation. Say out him, Worthy! So, you want to play hardball, huh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Demon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Alrighto, what's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. I mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You're aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness might now begin his testimony. Why does he sound so threatening? I like his glasses though. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. The power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Snail flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay. Now it's my time to pressure him. Hang it! As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went into his heart though. That's not funny. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shock inside. Neil and that serial killer were lying on in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Derek was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Anna was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Slam! How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway. So you're saying the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Okay. Time to check all of our evidence, and we have a lot to choose from. Were they always a smooth talker? Which piece of evidence ties Ken to the forgery? Anna did admit to forging evidence. That can't be the whole truth. Somehow, I've got to link Gan to the incident. I can do this! I just have to save. Okay. Go to the last one. Okay. What do I have? Evidence law! From Miss Sky explains the true rules of evidence law. Let me check this. Rules of submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. Found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something, but what? Where's Emma Sky prints? I mean, I could present this or the evidence list. And this, what information does this have? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I saved already. I wonder which one I have to present. The thing we found in his safe? Or the second half? Oh, I mean, yeah, the second half of the evidence list. I think I will present this. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gans, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. What do you mean I don't know? Huh? My dear Riro, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? This is related! Oh, this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that track relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Okay, I'll do it just this once, but only because you asked, Algie. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Sorry I didn't nail you. Okay, so it was wrong? Seems it was wrong. What else do we have? I mean, I was thinking about presenting the evidence list because we found the other half in his office. Had nothing to do with the forgery. Let me present this. You claim it had nothing to do with the forgery, but are afraid that is the claim can be back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar was sitting in your office. Was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant. These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Okay, so I was right both times. I have to present those two things. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh. Here's a defense attorney who might even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorney can do so too. Isn't that right, Riro? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Thanks God Gumshoe was with us! Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Poor Gumshoe. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. What do you mean, kids? Judge literally looks older than you, Gant. The disrespect. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragments and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Arranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I'm the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. Look at his creepy face. He's staring at me with those eyes. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today's, well, you know. Alright, Haji, in return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh? Are these guys telepathic? That didn't happen. I was there. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Right, what? What are you saying? Right, this is so off topic. Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Rido's points are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. You hear that? You're slimy! What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But I suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealed evidence found at the crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Riro. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. They were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Suddenly materialized. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. No, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Yeah, tell me something I don't know. Come on, Riro. Think about it. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. How can you look at me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Nail? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Arranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Dun 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 dum dum. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without the case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is it true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Ugh. Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Aji, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. I mean, at least he's honest about that. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Huh. Ah, that's a good one, Worthy. We aren't joking. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Sure! Sure, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. What? That's not what I mean. What? Aji, what? Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant might have helped forge evidence? Oh, heck, I didn't save. Let me think. Thinks he's a cowboy. Himself? Oh, that's right! We can choose him. What if we do? Right, my boy. The look on your face is almost enough to motivate even me to help you out. Ah! I hope you understand that's not a compliment. Okay, at least I can save now. After failing. No, it's not himself. It wasn't himself, chat. It wasn't himself, chat. Repeat the testimony? Probably Lana. Oh, what? No, not this. Okay, let's pick Lana. I mean, it would make sense, right? Press. Point out accomplice. I'll save it here again. Lana? I mean, they did work together. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor of the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He'll be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh gee. Aji, ... Aji, ... Oh wait! Such fuyo energy! Admit it, Chief! You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Right, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Anna. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happens in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about... the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange through this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Once again, trying to sound threatening. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible! Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easy to understand language. It was worthy. It wasn't me. It's too late, Mr. Wright. Slam! There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. That is totally true. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Everybody's speaking to me in a threatening way. Making me safe every 5 minutes. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I mean, I could use this. Well, Chief? So long as Ryder here is tossing out things regardless of the relevance. Mind if I toss something too edgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Looks like I got it right. Oopsie doopsie. Don't oops me! Maybe these boots to the head will knock some sense into you. Oopsie doopsie. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Oh, what the heck? Were they actually being understanding and nice to me? Now that he mentions it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gant entered that room. Looks like he wants another one of your boots, Haji. Yeah. Okay, I know what. I know. Thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I remember. Of course. Where's the list? Yes. The list. The ID record. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. I mean, I just know it. I know it for sure. It's your number. It is your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777777. The same as your remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Oh, look at him reacting now. Look at his expression now. We got him. Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Ryan be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? Look at his eyebrow. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not! Of course not! You sound nervous. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gantz on the day of the crime. Heck, I can say. Okay, let me see. Prove that the victim went to meet Chief Gantz on the day of the crime. Okay, isn't it this? I think it's this. The documents can only be submitted to the chief of police. Yeah. He had to talk with him about that. Detective Goodman lost his ID cards on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Rita smart, by the way. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered Pooh Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. I mean, he had his own ID card. Why would he do that? Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Ah, okay. No, I'm stupid. He didn't have his ID card. That's true. That's true. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. That is true. What the fuck? What was that? Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely a spur of the moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you! Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And now this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. The cloth? How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, challenge this evidence. Let me say. To move the victim's body, she began to use this. That's why he called Edgy to the office? I mean, yeah, it was in Edgy's car, wasn't it? So it doesn't really make sense to present this right now? Does it? Like, it has nothing to do with it. Yeah, I don't think it's the clothes either. Something about the car. Okay, this record of parking lots in the prosecutor's office. Yes. Office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. This memo found in the car trunk. Is it this? Prosecutor's office? The fact that Edgeworth was... Could it be this? The screwdriver? This evidence from a past case of Edgeworth. Brought back to his office by Gant's request. Oh, okay, makes sense. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean I... The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car! Oh my god. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This is not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It is exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something! I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Riro, but I'm having lunch with the district attorney general after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. What the heck? You can't just leave like this! But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? But it's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed all Goodman. This is what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show me your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Diamond Gant is the current chief of police. Yes, I know that already. Believe me. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gantz murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body? Safe! Do I have any concrete proof? Do I? I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gantz murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of doubt. Is there anything about the knife that I can check? The victim Bruce Goodman's blood still remains on the blade. Wonder if Edward got this knife because the handle matched his clothes. No, nothing. Gambariro, yes, I need to Gambariro. Oh, I have a lot of things here. Better proof Chief Gantz murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of doubt. Let me see. I have too many things. Evidence for something. Should I use the evidence for something?
Take that!
So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the Chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. I mean, he is the judge, yeah. I am the judge. All right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. Okay. Penalty. Let me load it then. Yes. Concrete proof. Present evidence. Decisive evidence. Something that proves Gantz did it. Do I have it? Maybe I should answer that I don't. I wonder if I have it. Final fragment found in Chief Gantz safe. This was kinda presented already. Files of the Joe Dar killing solved 2 years ago. Something about this photo? What do you think?
Take that!
No, this is not it. Load. Do you have any ideas? It's too vague. What if I say I have no proof? It's no use showing evidence if I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Yaji? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Riro. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Yaji, I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. White. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Oh my god.
Objection!
Bam! Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gans has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions. Let me see. Edgy boy saving Vito once again, yes. Raised in this trial. Someone writes in this very room. Are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. White, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't stop just now. Okay. Gonna call Lana.
Take that!
The defendant. Miss Lana Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21. What did you think it was, Emma? Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain summons orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Hold on! Huh? Chief Gans? I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. Oh nah, he's gonna threaten her now. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. And you say it like that? This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such a traitorous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That Chief. He's something else, huh, Pauls? Detective Gumshoe! Hahaha. I'm not a detective anymore. No. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Got him in. Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gans done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Emma! Hello!
So Gan can just blackmail a witness in front of the court? That seems legal.
I mean, he is the chief of police. He can do whatever he wants. Thank you, Blinky, for the super. Emma, are you okay? I missed you, Emma. when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do. Poor Lana. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Don't blame yourself. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, Paul. Chief Gant might be able to fool everyone else with his forgery. But he can't fool my memory. I remembered now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. We live in a society indeed. Emma, why don't you wait? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. And Lana tells the truth. Let's go ride. It's time to end this. But I still don't understand. Like, okay, Lana tried to protect her sister. But why? I mean, her sister is a minor. She was a minor. She was like 14 years old. What consequences would it be for her, like for the murder? Especially since it wasn't like a premeditated murder or anything like that. It was a pure accident. Remember the Edgy case? Yeah, I remember the Edgy case and the same thing happens. I just don't understand. Like when Edgy boy killed his father. Like he was a minor too. Even if he was a minor, there is jail for him. And in both occasions, it was an accident. Minors can go to prison, just a special one. But I mean, like, in these cases, like specifically in these cases, I don't think they would go to jail, right? I don't know. What do you think? Japan was scary, I think? Really? Maybe it's just I think about this game because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. It will be a rule of self-defense, yeah! Exactly! It was self-defense, it was accident, and there were minors. Ace Attorney logic, that's my only answer. Yeah, I think that's my only answer too, because I refuse to believe in Japan law is like that. Okay, let's continue. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Miss Lana Sky, you're the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. It only takes place in America, and you can get a conviction for manslaughter even as a minor. Yeah, but like once again, in these cases, it wasn't like a premeditated murder, you know? It was accidental. I think there should be not America, just Japanifornia, yeah. I think in both cases, no matter if it's Japan or America, that just doesn't really make sense. That's called manslaughter, Riro? What do you mean? Manslaughter still comes with Jason. Okay, let's continue. First, when you cause the death of someone even by accident of negligence, that's called manslaughter. I can't imagine a prosecutor pressing charges against kids for these. Yeah, I know, right? I swear I didn't mean to kill him, bro. But I mean, the cases, like, it was obvious that they didn't mean to kill them. Not Jirai would commit 12 years old in these circumstances. Yes, exactly. Nobody would convict a 12-year-old in these circumstances. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god, there's a lot of different opinions in the chat now. But that's what I think. I think it doesn't really make sense. Okay, let's continue. We can talk about that later. Let's continue. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Lawyers help. Any lawyers in chat? I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, Gant and the fabrication. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective, that's why. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And... did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense, exactly. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. Chat, we're seeing our answers. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. Okay, yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense, yeah. That's why I couldn't forgive him. I know. So, that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? Okay, but the thing is, like, Emma already accepted it. And Lana should know it by this point, so there is no point in her to keep lying. Unless we don't know something else about Gans and Lana. Maybe he threatened her with something else. That's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. That is so. What happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. Oh, just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife? And you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You awful people should know, Edgeworth. You always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, that red jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. Nothing to do with Emma. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it, period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk a death sentence? Oh god, death sentence. She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Ryan, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay. I worked alongside Gant for years. Death sentence is kind of implied for a bunch of guilty Ace Attorney characters. Oh, do they all get death sentence? Because up till now we only got like cases related to murder. Do they all get death sentence? The jar has M on it. Oh yeah, that's right, My plan, the mission was to get Jack which had nothing to do with Emma, okay. I could present it here. The witness statement is clearly false, Your Honor. Okay, seems it's not it. It made sense though. What can I present then? This piece of cloth, I still have this piece of cloth. Maybe that? Let me save. Okay. It's not it. The jar, I already presented the jar. I already presented the jar here. Present jar on the line that interferes with my plan? I presented the jar in this, and I think it would make more sense than presenting it here. I mean, okay, I could present it here. Because she took that piece. The piece with Emma's name. Yes, nice. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Oh. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We might be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Jar message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who whipped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case. But not as feeble as the judge's judgments. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Anna, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have whipped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Anna, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and the camera with me. A pocket light? Then you were able to read Emma's name on the jar. Isn't this a contradiction? Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was sweeping them clean before they were discovered. By the way, hydration check. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Rearranged. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lena. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. If she doesn't get the death sentence, that is. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sisters really put it up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There is one final possibility that might turn everything around. Okay. Okay. You have to lay in the blood. Okay, so this is a contradiction to the other thing she said. But I would have to present something. I don't think I have to press again. Because I pressed on everything she said already. Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But you didn't, right? Should I present the jar? She missed one. The one with Emma's name. Okay. Should I present the jar? Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. The Chief Gant safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and whipped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Pa pa pa! Chief Gant got there before you. Hi there! But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That might well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along! Ha! Can you believe that? I mean, Aji. I can't believe it from you. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? And this witness arrives at the scene. The jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gans. At the time, he was looking for Doug downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Speechless. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Aji. Demon Guards arrives at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hit one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence! But why would Chief Gan do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gan's aid. Lending her his aid, Gans helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became a Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most full lies to defend their clients. Full lies? Imagine that coming from my own clients. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. What? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gan's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana might be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination might not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Let's go! Alright, the witness might testify once more for the final time. Finally, I know, right? Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me to remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armored sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. That's sweet. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Maybe in the book? Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? It has to be in the book. I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Yes. By the way, I didn't have the opportunity to check this book before. Do you remember? Because I tried to read this book earlier. You remember? I only saw those 2 rules. Hey, there's a picture here. And I had this in my inventory all this time. Oh, how my. You received it in the middle of the court. Yes, I know. But I tried to check this book. You don't remember? I tried to check this book today. And I was only able to read like the 2 rules of evidence law. I wasn't able to actually see the picture. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted criminal affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Lana's picture inserted into the court's record. Crazy. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could it be? The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those, I must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints... They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flesh out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. What? 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 That wasn't me! Come now, Aji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gans. What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or 2 in my defense. The final boss has come. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of the noose tightening around your own neck. Gad, you really forgot? Yeah, so what? You think I'm worried? sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? I only need to threaten Lana a little bit. The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have something conclusive? You still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Riro? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Haha, the clothes piece. I didn't try to hide it though. I presented it like 3 times and you declined it. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Let me save. If I show that piece of evidence now, am I sure to made out as a murderer? Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence presented now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall. Yeah, I saved. Remember evidence is law? Yes. But it's not relevant, but it is. It is relevant now that we saw the picture. Read it. Yeah, I remember. This is relevant. It's not right now. I think this is relevant. It's not relevant because we're concealing the picture too. I think I'll show it this time. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chiefs. No, they are not. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. I saved, so it's okay. Evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. But this doesn't mean she murdered him. It's a piece of leather cloth? Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest, near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? Emma's. I'm sure Ryder has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? But then for sure, but it's okay. I saved. They're Miss Skies and Miss Emma Skies. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? Wait! Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. It's over! You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. It appears we have our killer. No! Well, everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana alone was found guilty on all counts. Guilty! Bam, 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 bam! Okay. Let's not present it now. Like, it was pretty obvious we were gonna get the sentence. Let's go. Yes, cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! I mean, he can't just say, oh, I had this in my safe, you know? Chief Gant? You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! What was inside, Gant? The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. Yeah. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Riro. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, and when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? Oh, why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging this evidence? What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, let's just say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too. Ho ho ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean the piece of cloth? Come on, Riro. Cut it up already. I know you have it. And you're waiting for Mr. Right. So you admit to it then, Shivgant. That you were hiding the cloth, you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being Shiv and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Now, Mr. Right, what do you have to say for yourself? Let me save. Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Riro. You should have shouted when before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Oh, can I show? Oh, it's too late to show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, let's just expose that poor girl fingerprints. Right, think hard over the circumstances. The circumstances? I'm talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Yeah, because now we should know for sure he was the one hiding it. Like he had it in his safe. Weren't you waiting for the difference? So, I just figured out my plan. Mr. Right, this is your only chance. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Yes. The cloth.
Take that!
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes! At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leader, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Ida had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean that you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Right, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well, I'll tell you. It shall be okay now. Everything proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... I mean, that's the only thing we can say. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? You're really something, Riro. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true, tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Huh, but I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. And you did! That That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? Hello, bunkers! Thank you, Nika, for the raid! Hello! I'll play Ace Attorney. It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that is not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical region ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Huh. Piece of evidence? Ah, the new picture? Oh, let me check. The blood? The blue badger, of course. The blue badger is always guilty. There should be something on the cloth. On the cloth? Can I check the cloth? There's nothing else I can check about the cloth. It was only the handprint. Okay. Maybe the shape that was... The shape of the cloth? Let me check once again. It isn't quite accurate, is it? Or it is? The picture has something cut from it. Yeah, the lower part. The victim is covered in blood. The piece doesn't have blood. That is true. That is very true. That is very true. Okay, let's present this. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is a picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of this vest was cut off? Yes, it's should be showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Ah, but that piece of cloth doesn't have blood. Wait, there's no blood on it. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armored sword? Crazy. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. It's finally all over. Objection? Oh, that was close, Riro. You almost had me. Are you still fighting? Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. You look so nervous. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Reggie? Earlier, old Riro here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Riro? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laughs on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. It's all going according to my plan. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? Oh, 9 seconds save. I mean... No, if I admit to that, all my planning will have been for nothing. Heck. If you're going to change your position, fine. I don't admit. I don't admit anything. Yes. You can prove the conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Not in violation of the law. Yes, I can read it again. Nice. I'll present this. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. Second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. Oh, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Demon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes! Now you can say no! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Demon Gant, the killer was you. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. It wasn't for sure. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall. Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'll bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would only lead to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gamshow's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside. How? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I feel bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a commuter. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. We are the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Logie. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Demogant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Logie. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Riro here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sound of a new beginning. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Demogorgon betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. That's a sweet smile. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few years. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job! Trying not to blush. Someday for real. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor? You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Oh, I'm so happy for Lana. It must have been hell. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty! Finally! We did it! Let's go! We did it, edgy boy! That is all. This court is adjourned. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't completely get off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. Yeah, at least it's not a death sentence, you know? No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word about me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, Pauls. Oh my god, Gumshoe. Timing is as good as always. Oh, guess I am! I'll come back later! And his sad face once again. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? His scolded poppy face. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, Pauls. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, Paul. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Anna! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know? I won't tell if you want. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago. Was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in this mess. Sis, I asked Dan to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Aw, this is so sweet. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find a way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on towards a brighter future. This is so cute. This is wholesome. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Right, Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. I hope in better circumstances than defending you again in a trial. Is that right, Edward? Edward? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. What? Mr. Edgeworth? Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we are the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. To do it alone. I despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary. But I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gan did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Demon Gan and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That might be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. That we did together? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own? The list?
Take that!
That's the picture I drew. Our counterattacks began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific Investigation is the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. Seeing her smile heals my soul. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, Paul. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it might be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Come, son. Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, haha, you see. Mr. Right here is the one who'll be footing the bill. Oh, come on. Do you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, Paul. Thank you, Mr. Right. You're the best. What is it? I sound like I want to scream. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. That was excellent. Okay. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of a place to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I managed to find my way back to the field somehow, and I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. What is the DLC case? The long DLC case. Now you need to watch the live action? What? It has a live action? Thanks, I thought I was gone there for a moment there. In the end though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yeah, that's what they said. Just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. There, Gabshow. So proud of you. It has a live action that is ridiculous? Should we do a watch along of that one? We could watch it together. Live action and 2 seasons of anime series. I knew about the anime, but I didn't know about the live action. A new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of... Can you believe it? With the emergency security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday I'm going to make a detective. Yes, the little gumshoe. Yes. I wonder if we will see Mikens in the future. Edward was just that powerful that people wanted to see him in the flesh. Oh my god, I'm scared. What will we see in the movie? The movie is about the DLC case? Imagine if... Oh? Blue Badger? It's over for Blue Badger. He wasn't the murderer after all. It's over. What is it? Can't you see I'm having a showdown with a stick lunge? It's just, you know, seeing girls, it seems. Okay, boy, it looks like you did it.
Quite the ride. Thanks for the Ace Attorney stream, Riro. Hope you will stream the sequels. Underscore Riro hug colon underscore.
I really
Riro
want to keep playing Ace Attorney. I don't know if I will continue it next week though. I might take some time to start the next game. But I definitely want to continue the games, yes, because I'm enjoying them very much. Yes, we'll take a break. No, not exactly a break from streaming, but I think I won't start the next Ace Attorney game the next week. We will see. Yes, we will see. Yeah, the movie's about the cases before and through DL6. Ah, not the DLC then. DL6, not DLC. DLC was the SL9 case. Yeah. I'll never forget what Joseph's lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Come on! Mr. Left! How many trials did we do together, Dodgy? Mr. Left? Oh my god. We could watch the anime before starting the next game. The anime is just the adaptation, like, it's the same thing. Just, like, in the anime. But I asked you about watching the watch-along of the live action because you said it was bad. Oh, Maya! Objection. Will we see Maya in the future, like in the cases? Will she help us? I wonder if we will see Emma. Probably not. Probably not. Emma was just for this case. Ah, that's sad because I really liked Emma. Yes, they just made the game into an anime. Yeah, it will be pretty much the same, just animated. But the live action, it has to be something. I don't know what to expect from the live action. Bellboy. Hmm? My alarm has been sounding for all this time. Oh! Going to Europe. Thanks to you, Mr. White. Thank you so much for everything. A little sad, but I will be alright. Now I want to see Lana. All I have to do is open this book. Scientific investigation. Oh, like, can I check it? Oh, look. Hmm? A picture? Huh. Adorable. This is a happy ending indeed. So cute. Okay, so we officially ended the first Ace Attorney game. Let's go! F-Toaster laptop, what the heck? First game done, yeah! Wow! Didn't I start streaming Ace Attorney from like my second week streaming or something? We've been doing this for so long. Okay. Yes, sir. So, did you like this case? Was it interesting? Tell me. Tell me, what do you think about it? Tell me how you feel about this case. Great? Yes? Amazing case. Yeah, it was very interesting. Very long and very interesting. Is it the longest case in the games? I remember somebody mentioned it, but I'm not sure if it was like the long games like of this first game specifically or in the whole series. And case was a great... Yeah, it is a great case. Probably the longest case in the front. Okay, I see. No, Ace Attorney is synonymous for Riro to me. A synonym of Riro. Ace Riro. without objection. What did you think about the case? I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was very long, but I did enjoy it. Yeah. It was very interesting. A lot of things happened there, but I wouldn't say I got lost. Like of course, I had a lot of evidence that I could present and a lot of phrases to object to. You know, it was a little bit hard at moments, but it was pretty much straightforward as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite among the cases. I see. Okay, I wonder what we will have in the second game. I wonder. Okay, so I will be finishing this stream because I have a member stream right now. Yes, Star Chaps, we have an emote join stream today. Yeah. Member emotes join stream. New emote. Yes. Membership stream. It was supposed to start like 9 minutes ago, but I think I will move the time a little bit. Yeah, I will postpone it a little bit, so I can, so I have time to snack a little bit, you know? Yeah, burger emote. Not another burger though. I already had my jelly burger. Yeah, I'll take a little break, and then I will start the member stream. Okay, Star Champs, so, member Star Champs. See you in half an hour or so. And bye. Thank you so much for being with me today. It was very fun. Bye bye.